You know, you watch those movies and stuff, and someone keeps trying to do something, even if it's have a conversation or say something or write something or trying to fix their car or trying to do something, and then they just absolutely get the shits and just start smashing everything up around them. I don't really want to smash up everything around me, but I perfectly understand what the hell is going on in their head.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better
It's
hold your head up to the sky.
just one of those things.
You till the day I die.
Yeah. So, Gray's Law. So I've got this thing here. I started writing, and then I just totally ignore them. That's what I normally do with stuff that I write, because if I try and read, it sounds like I am reading, and I haven't been able to get away from it. Now, I haven't practiced a lot because it annoys me too much to do that. But anyway, you know, I started writing a thing. It's like, today is the first day of the rest of your life. You know, all one of those trite cliches that no matter where you go, there you are. The problem is, that's probably the most apt one in existence, is no matter where you go, there you are. People keep trying to change their situation, keep trying to change the people around them, keep trying to change things, but never themselves. So when things keep going to shit, then they'll go, oh, it's the universe, it's the people around me. I blame the universe for a lot of shit, but, you know, I still understand that I'm there when it all happens, so the common denominator must be me. Anyway, hindsight is 2020. Yeah, but 2020 isn't the best vision, is it? There's, what is it, like 2010, where you can see at 10 what everyone else, or you can see at 20 what everyone else can see at 10, or something like that. I don't know. But 2020 is just like, well, you should be able to see that at that distance. That's like average. Yeah. The human race and many individuals keep making the same stupid mistakes. Maybe malice, maybe stupidity, or do we just apply Hanlon's razor? See, me reading in a silly voice, that's the only way I can actually read. But it's not my voice. The silly voice. I suppose I've got a pretty silly voice in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, I think we're at the point in the West where we have to realise on the whole that most of the things that are happening are just malicious. I don't necessarily think they're malicious in intent. What do they say? Another one that's probably incredibly accurate, but also really, really cliched and trite is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. No good deed goes unpunished. Things like that. Anyway, Hanlon's razor is an aphorism expressed in various ways, including never attribute to malice that which can adequately be explained by stupidity, or don't assume bad intentions over neglect and misunderstanding. Deliberate misunderstanding is not neglect, and it's not really a misunderstanding, it's deliberate ignorance, and I don't think there's an excuse for it. Try and improve your lot. If it's not something you have any interest in, or if it's not something that directly affects you, who fucking cares? It doesn't really matter. But in the grand scheme of things, with the way the governments are going, with the money, the things they're spending money on, the things that are letting people get away with, and the things that other people are not allowed to get away with in the general course of their lives, is really quite appalling. Anyway, Gray's Law. Any sufficiently advanced incompetence is indistinguishable from malice. So I'm personally anti-government. I think the government makes more bad decisions than it does good decisions. I think it spends the money that they steal from us in more bad ways than it does good ways. So there's a lot of things that they decide on that if they had have let me keep my own money, I would have invested it in something else. Like even the small amount of money that goes to the ABC that produces mostly garbage. I don't care that they buy in other stuff. I should still have a choice as to whether or not I want garbage to be produced, but I don't, because it's mandatory that it gets paid. The way the medical system is, like, why does it not include dental after all of these years? There's money that's gone into stupid other shit, and there's money that goes offshore for other things that could go into rolling dental into the medical system, because dental health is really, really, really important for medicine. You can have shit wrong in your mouth that causes many, 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 many other issues in the body. Mercury fillings can cause symptoms that are identical to MS. Therefore, it should all be linked together. Mental health. I was having a tough time a few months ago. Really, really, really tough time. Like not quite deleting myself, because that's unfair on the people around me. But It was almost that bad. There were random things going through my head that were not really ideal. Is it time? Is it time? Anyway, I'm not really in that place anymore. I feel a lot better about things. Okay, my life is still not really where I want it to be. I'm not really being as productive in my life as I want to be, but I've made some fairly big decisions. So I have to put a couple of things on the back burner, like me doing the urban farming thing. That's just gone for the moment. There's not the finances for it. There's not really the weather for it. There's not really anything for it. The mental health thing wasn't a look at me thing. It was supposed to, but I lost my train of thought, and because I don't have notes and because I'm not reading anything, I just forgot. The point was that we aren't really covered for mental health in Australia. You can get on a care plan, but it's the same for a lot of other things that are meant to be covered in our medical system, like physiotherapy and things like that. So bad Achilles tendon can go to 6 physiotherapists 6 times. How is that in any way helpful for an Achilles tendon? The same with the mental health. So go to the doctor. Are you suicidal? Well, yes I am. Slight exaggeration. I'll put you on a care plan. Care plan's meant to cover it. He sends me to this therapist that's $100 a session more than the government pays, because that's what the government employee that's in charge of that profession has decided is the going rate. So the idiots running it don't even know how much people can afford to pay. Or do they just want sick and unhappy and unhealthy? I've been thinking about, going and becoming a teacher. I mean, as long as I have specific things that they tell me I'm allowed to teach, then I can specifically teach those things. It might have a Jeff bent on it, but it'll still be the Jeff things. I have enough experience in my life, and in theory I have enough general knowledge about general things that I could be fairly productive at that. And if that's going to be my only legacy, is giving the next generation a bit more information and a bit more understanding about the way the universe works, so that they can have a better lot in their life and improve the world or their world, then that's a fairly good thing. I feel good about that decision, but it's just weird because I don't necessarily like humans on the whole, so why would I want to instruct humans? Maybe it's so that I can help there to be a bunch of humans out there that aren't just ignorant idiots. Anyway, Gray's Law. Any sufficiently advanced incompetence is indistinguishable from malice. Directly apply to the government. I don't think the people in the government are actually malicious. I don't think they're deliberately trying to curtail our freedoms or anything else. I think they're just that fucking stupid that they don't know the difference. They can't sit down and look at it and go, so many of these people live in a bubble. Even if they came from a working class background, they've been in either their corporate or their political bubble for so long, being subjected to things that the rest of us don't get subjected to. We don't get to write everything off. We don't get to own a second house for shits and giggles that we can 100% write off our taxes. We don't get free travel. We don't get all of the perks that they get in both, well, some of it in the corporate world and a lot of it in the political world. And a lot of these people have just been politicians their whole damn lives. They've never really done anything else. And some of them have come from a different government job. So if I was working for the state government doing what I do for a job, I'd be getting at least double what I'm getting now. That's just the reality of the situation. My ideas, beliefs, understanding of the universe, if I had been in that environment my whole working life, would be totally and utterly different than they are now. Yeah, and I understand the position that I'm in has nothing to do with what I'm getting paid and everything to do with the shitty decisions that I've made with the little amount of money that I have. Excuse me. Refreshing. Do we do the stupid Wayne's World, product placement thing? Yeah, you either know what the cup is or you don't. Comment or don't. I don't give a shit. Anyway, the point is, it's really difficult to reconcile the malicious activity without the malicious intent. It's much, much, much easier to go, okay, like we had a premier in Queensland called Joby Occupedison, and everyone said, oh, he's like really corrupt, he's super corrupt, and guess what? He got shit done. So there might have been money that vanished into a mafia guy's pocket. I'm just using random words to describe random bad guys or good guys or whatever. Money might have disappeared into someone's pocket for a new highway to be built, or for something else to happen, or for a dam to be built, or whatever. But the dam got built and the highway got built and a bunch of shit got done. Okay, so he didn't do it in the way that was prescribed. But if you try and do things the way they're prescribed, money just vanishes anyway. At least this way, you know where the money's going, you know where it's gone, and you know that the end is going to be accomplished. Now, they're just so useless and so heads so far up their asses trying to decide what to do, how to do it, where to do it, that nothing ever gets done. But the money still disappears. So I would prefer corruption over incompetence any day of the week. So at work, there's two guys that are really, 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 really good. One guy that's just incredibly jaded. So he's not as productive a member of the team as he could be, but that's just because of the jadedness of his existence. But everyone else is essentially incompetent. So I always go on about multitasking and how you can't do it, but things like an office job, you have to at least keep things in the back of your mind. You have to go, well, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. They're incapable of doing it. They've got their one job and their one job only, and if you don't write everything down, they'll forget it. And even if you write everything down, because they didn't write it down and because they didn't put it where they normally put things, they'll still forget it. I can have things pulled apart on a hoist and it never gets it takes days to get the shit put back together because nobody paid attention to anything. And I go, the communication's horrible. Oh, it's not our fault. Yeah, it is directly and utterly attributable to your incompetence. You're no good at this job. You need to employ someone that is good at the job. I've been in their position. I was a little bit better than them, but I still wouldn't want to do the job. There are people out there that they could employ that know the information that needs to be known. That you could piss 3 people off out of the office and have one really competent person in there. And that annoys me because they're getting paid to do a hell of a lot less than they should be doing. And that really, really, really annoys me. So, still not malicious, though. It's incompetent. But from my perspective, it looks like they're deliberately screwing me over. They're deliberately doing things so that I can't do my job properly to make my life more difficult. But it's not, and I understand that it's not. And the only reason I haven't really gone and sworn at any of them is because I know it's not. And doesn't God say something about being gentle on slow people or something? Anyway, that's all I've got to say about that. If you can't be good at it, or at least don't be deliberately evil about it. Be not like deliberately malicious to one another, or just vaguely incompetent. Yeah, I guess.